Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're listening to this, actually. I am Kevin Martin. This is Coffee with Kevin, coffee with a K, actually. And here's my coffee. Mm, yum. That is stupendous. That is just incredible this morning. Hmm I hope you have a coffee, hot cup of coffee, hot cup of tea. Maybe you have some water, some juice, smoothie, whatever it is this morning to you. Hmm Yes, it's Coffee with Kevin. I'm Kevin, by the way, in case you haven't noticed, in case you haven't been here before. I'm Kevin Martin. I am a hypnotherapist. I am a business mindset coach. I'm an author. I'm a trainer. I'm a speaker. I'm lots of things. But mostly what I am is someone who loves to help people. I love to help people go from impossible to I'm possible. And that's what this show is all about, is giving you little tips for the week to go to I'm possible. All right. Fantastic. So are we having a good time here this morning? Yes, yes, all five listeners are having a really, really good time. Oh, that's great. I am looking at the chat. I'll be able to chat with anyone on Facebook today. Don't usually get the live chats from the other channels, but that's okay. If you want to get my attention, okay, you can, excuse me, you can DM me on Facebook or on LinkedIn and or send messages to me through YouTube. Okay, let's see what it is. It is February 10th already. We're 4 days short of the big day, February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. 4 days short of that so far. So here we are. We're into the second week of February. The year is moving along. Again, I'm not going to say it's chasing. It's streaming really fast because it's not. I'm pacing myself this year to make the days count and not for them to really really fly by. So today, February 14th, what's the biggest, today in history? 1996, I believe it was, where the world chess champion Kasparov got beat by Deep Blue, IBM's computer, interactive computer machine that they had, a massive computing machine. And of course, what we have today here just, 20 years later is, so much more phenomenal. I don't know, 20, 30 years later, huh? I had that wrong. Um, but still, he got beat the first game. However, it was best out of six, and he won three, and two came in as a tie. So basically, he beat the computer again. He had done this in 1989, I believe, and against what was then the Deep something else from IBM. I can't remember the name. I don't have it in front of me. I apologize. Um, and he had gotten beaten by the computer then too, and several computer champions have been beaten in the past by the computers. I haven't seen the latest stats, but I would imagine with AI being able to learn you and your moves, it will be beating the humans a lot more in chess. Okay, today, national days. Today is National Flannel Day. Now it's not flannel, but it's got the flannel look, the cross stripes and all that. So I wore this. Now I am in Tampa. I don't need flannel. There might have been 1 or 2 days in the past 2 or 3 weeks where if I was out very early in the morning, very late at night, I might have needed flannel. But no, for the most part, there's no flannel needed. Now I had flannel shirts and stuff like that when I was back up in the cold weather, back up in Boston area, but having moved down here where the winters are mild, and I got to come up with a saying where the winters are mild and the people are average? No, don't don't repeat that. For those of you that might identify what I was trying to do, it was from an NPR show a long time ago, with a small city in Minnesota. Okay, so National Flannel Day. It's also Safer Internet Day. Get your security up and running on your computers, on your phones and tablets. And it is National Home Warranty Day. I don't know what the heck that is. If you don't have a home warranty on your appliance and stuff like that, maybe it's time to look at it. Maybe it's time to look at it. Now, National Cream Cheese Brownie Day. Now, if you're looking to bake today, that's what you want to bake. Go find the recipe. And lastly, I have here, it's National Umbrella Day. It's not supposed to, I've got the sun shining out there. Um, so I'm not gonna be using an umbrella for rain, but if the sun gets hot enough and strong enough, I use an umbrella for the keep the sun off my shoulders. Yeah. So those are the days today. Today, February 10th, it is Tuesday. It's always Tuesday when I'm here. It's been Tuesday for the last 6 years when I'm here. Okay. And so it's not quite the exact start of the week, but I like to be near the beginning of the week to help you all for the rest of the week, to help myself. And I don't do this just for the people listening. And most of the time they're listening later on. I guess maybe 9 o'clock Eastern time is a little early for some people. But to help those of you who listen anytime, whether it's live or it's later, I do this to help you, but I also do this to help myself. This has been an extraordinary journey looking for what we're going to talk about, looking for what I'd like to share with people. So, yeah. So this week, my brother-in-law came down and well, he came down last week. Yeah, so it was incorrect saying it this week. My brother-in-law came down and visiting with us for a few days and then on his way to a retreat that he's doing down here locally. And then we'll see him back for a few more days. And it's nice. It's nice. Of course, my wife loves seeing her little brother and having him here. And we just love going out together. We went to, believe it or not, an outdoor wrestling match this weekend. Yes, yes. I thought it was going to be midget wrestling, which is very popular. They have a lot of different uh, ones, different associations, and that show up down here. It's just that the pictures that they had made them look like midgets. It fooled me. Actually, I was doing a Google search for midget wrestling, and I couldn't find it. So yeah, yeah. Hey, I'm sorry about that. We're gonna get rid of that right now. Yeah, I talk about wrestling and the phones ring. The phones ring off the chart. And yeah, so it was an outdoor thing. It was a little bunch of people who one of them probably had an outdoor ring and they've been wrestling for a while and they decided let's go do this. Let's go set this up at different places. It was entertaining. The majority of the people there were the wrestlers and their families, of course, with a few of us that go in just to watch. And they were pretty good for the most part. Wrestling is all about acting and being athletic in the ring, being able to pull off the stunts. And it's just fun to watch, especially at that level where they're just getting started, where they're basically amateurs, not amateur wrestlers, but amateurs in the pro wrestling field. And so yeah, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch the mistakes. It's fun to watch, the kind of good stuff that they were doing too. So yeah, and by the way, I'll confess, it's fun to watch the audience. Sometimes it's much more fun to watch the audience than it is to watch the wrestlers. And that includes pro wrestling too, when you're in small venues. it is very interesting. Okay, so that's one of the things we did this weekend and just enjoyed ourselves. It was nice weather to do it in, and, we're blessed. I'm blessed to be able to be down here and to be able to, stay and, really enjoy what we have down here. So, always looking for gratitude. Now let's talk about what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today? I had something already and I lost it. Can you believe I lost it already? No. Today's subject is who are you becoming this year? In January, we talked a lot about goals. And goals are about what we want to get, what we want to achieve, and you know, who we want to become. And that's what we're going to talk about. The more important thing, the less seen thing. We don't talk about this too much. Who do you want to become this year? What kind of person do you want to be this year? Now, some of us might say, hey, I want to be the same person I always was. But as you're going for those goals, especially if they're big goals, you start to become someone different. And you got to watch who you become because you don't want to become someone that is not lined up with who what your beliefs are, what your morals are. You don't want to become someone that's not aligned with that. So most people start the new year focused on goals, and yes, we talked a lot about that, what they want to achieve, what they want to do, but not who they want to become. All right, goals are temporary, identity is lasting. So as you evolve, as you become that person, remember that's going to be you. It's going to be a part of you for the rest of your life, even as you evolve even more next year and the year after. So you can hit a goal and feel stuck if you haven't grown into the person who sustains it. I'll say that again. You can hit a goal and feel stuck if you haven't grown into the person who sustains it. What pops into my mind is that stat about lottery winners. Someone goes out there and wins $1 million or $10 million or $100 million, and the stats say that 5 years later, just about all the money's gone. Most of the time, all the money's gone. It's because they didn't become the person they needed to become to sustain that. They were still that person that that they were the day before they won the lottery. All right. So yeah, that's what that reminds me of. Who we're becoming. We have to evolve as we move forward, as we're getting goals, as we're getting achievements. Every small choice you make, how you respond to stress, whether you follow through, whether you avoid or lean in, cast its cast a vote for the person you are becoming. So very often when we have large goals, okay, we the goals actually precede us before we evolve into that person we need to be to sustain those goals. So that's just something to think about. Something to think about. Who do you want to become? What kind of person do you want to become? Instead of asking, did I achieve it yet? Ask, did I show up today as the person who eventually will achieve it? That's a really different type of thinking, isn't it? We're looking at, you know, are we becoming that person that deserves what we want to achieve? So when you're looking at these large goals, when you're looking at, hey, I want $20,000 more this year, or I want to build a business. Think about who you need to become to do that. So instead of asking, did I achieve it? Well, we just went through that. Um, that question alone, by the way, can help you think on what's going on. Let's see what we have for quotes for this. Good morning, Brenda. I didn't see that up there. Let's see what we have for quotes today. All right. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. I love this. I love this. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. So I work every week. I work an ethics roundtable. Been doing this for years, and we do this every other week now. And in between, I have to come up and create some sort of newsletter. But it's all about ethics. And if we're going for a goal and we're becoming and we're making decisions and taking actions that aren't quite ethical, that's moving us towards being that kind of person who isn't quite as ethical. Wow, slipping on my syllables here. So you think of this: every action you take is a vote for the kind of person, the type of person you wish to become. So make sure those actions are aligned with the kind of person you want to become. All right, becoming is better than being. Oh, Carol Dweck. It's simple, short. Carol Dweck is the one who psychiatrist who wrote the book on mindset. Basically, explain the two major kinds of mindsets, and one is a fixed one. One is, and that's the one that doesn't want to become anything different. They're too afraid to get out of their own comfort zone. It's not that they're limited. Sometimes they're geniuses. Sometimes they're so good at one thing, but they're too afraid to do anything else. And the other mindset is more of the becoming mindset because it's all about growth. It's a growth mindset, and those are the people that l- look and value change, and they know change doesn't always bring about good positive feelings. They don't always bring about wins. Sometimes they bring about failures of some sort or another, and they're okay with that. They don't look as failure as an ending. They look as failure as a stepping stone. And those are the people. They're becoming something all the time because they don't mind getting out of their comfort zone. We are not held back by what we don't have, but by who we believe we are. I love this one because this goes down, makes you think deep, right? Often we find that we're held back because we don't have the resources, we don't have the things we need. Okay. But often it's not that, it's who we believe we are. We believe we're a person that can't move forward without those things. And we want to become someone that can move forward no matter what, that can move around, over, or through the obstacles. That's the person we want to become. And lastly, today, what you do today shapes who you are becoming tomorrow. There's a common thread in these quotes. Here, we're talking about actions. We're talking about actions. And when we talk about goals and setting, moving towards achievements and, acquiring the goals we want, we also talk about actions. But, you need to take action to be able to move forward to your goals. But in this, it's talking about not that you need to take actions, that you will be taking actions, but are they in line with who you want to become? That's what I want you to think about. The daily things you're doing, the things you're doing moving towards your goals this year, the actions you're taking for it, it's moving you towards becoming somebody. Just check to make sure it's moving you towards becoming the person that you want to be. Wow. Today got a little heavy. Today got a little heavy, and talking about, who we want to become. And here I am at you know, my age in this game. I had many years of change and growth and everything. And yet still, my actions towards what I want to do impact who I'm gonna be, who I'm gonna become, from who I am now to who I'm gonna become at the end of the year. I still have to watch that. I still have to make sure I become the person that I wanna become. All right. Wow. Again, this was a heavy subject. And and I want to wow, I'm lost. It was so heavy. It got to my mind. I'm sorry about that. I want to wish you all a fantastic week. And you know by now, that's not me wishing it for you. It's not you hoping. It's you making it fantastic for yourself. It's in your control. Remember, we can't control what's happening externally. We can only control how we think and how we act or react in that case. So, how you think and how you act and how you react will determine whether you're going to have a fantastic week or not. And I want you to have the most fantastic week of all. Hey, this has been Coffee with Kevin. Coffee with a K, by the way. The K is for Kevin. Hmm. I've seen another Coffee with Kevin out there, and it was with a C, so I recognize my own. You want to have some fun with yourself too. You wanna be able to laugh at yourself. There's something else had seen this week in an epiphany that came to me when it comes to self-esteem. One of the biggest things is to be able to laugh at yourself and not take all the things that happen to you personally, because not everything that happens to us has to do with us. Matter of fact, most of what happens to us does not have to do with us. So, why take it personally? And then if someone laughs at you, laugh with them. Matter of fact, you do things to make people laugh at you, and I've done that almost all my life. What is that called? The clown? Yeah, I was a clown for quite a bit. Now that's the clown with the smile, not the clown with the frown. The clown with the smile is the one that says, "Hey, this is great. I can do things silly, and I'm okay. I can fall down, and I'm okay." So that's the kind of person I want you to be. Because the more you can laugh at yourself, the more you can feel good about who you are. All right. Boy, a little bit of wisdom at the end of this that I didn't expect there. All right, all. Take care. Have an incredible week. Bye bye.